Aloha everyone, this is Philip reporting from the Pu'uhonua Opuna Community Hub down here in Pahoa. Give you guys an update. I know you guys have been all waiting. We've been waiting to get some information from this morning. We haven't had any photographs until just recently. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick update over here. I'll shortly go meet Ikaika. We're gonna go aboard the boat. And Captain Ikaika is going to take us down to see what's happening in an area of secrets, Ahalanui, Kua O Ka Lā area, so we can see and report to you guys in person from the water. So, hi everybody, thanks for joining. I'll give you guys a quick update here from the hub today. So we just have a series of photos. Let me get back to let's start off with the most recent photograph we have, which is taken from 11:15 today. This is a photograph by Scott Wilson of Aloha Skies Aviation, showing that at 11:15 today, that's a couple hours ago now, maybe more than that. What time is it even? I'm not sure what time it is anymore, 2:06, so almost 3 hours ago now. You can see this flow has come up within about a quarter mile of the ocean. You can see right here, secrets in a warm pond and Kua O Ka Lā area is right here ahead of the flow. We've calculated how fast this flow might be moving now. It may have slowed down a little bit from before. Last night we were saying it might have been going about 400 feet an hour. It may be down to 200 feet an hour or so. But even still, it looks like that would put it out about maybe in a range of within the next 5-6 hours, something like that, assuming that the flow doesn't change its rate. So that's the most recent picture we have. The flow looks like it's gonna hit the warm ponds in a few hours, in fact. So it slowed down a bit from our anticipation of this morning, but the flow is still headed right to the warm ponds right there. Let's see what other photographs we can show you guys. Here's a reverse angle view from the air. These first photographs are by Scott Wilson of Aloha Skies Aviation. So you can see here's a school. The flow front's back in here. Maybe I'll find a better photograph to show you guys. Here's another angle of it. Here's the coast, Kua O Ka Lā, which is the closest facility to the flow front, and here it is, right in there. Well, I guess we're moving on. Also happening today, right now, in fact, are overflows near the elbow in Leilani Avenue, Leilani Estates. Here we have Nohea Street, Fisher 8's up here, and we've had a big surge. So we had that big collapse at the summit this morning at about 5:45 in the morning, after maybe what did I calculate? Something like 43 hours or so. So there was a big surge that's happened after that here in Leilani Estates. So this is also developing a very dangerous situation. If I'm correct, I believe that USGS put out a report saying that there have already been some homes lost on Luana Street, and you can see they're clearly, possibly in there. But there are also a lot of homes under threat over here on Nohea, in an area over here as well. Looking up at Fisher 8, you can see how many spillovers we have from this channel. 1, 2, 3, 4. The thing is spilling over along its entire upper length. So this could be, in fact, because of the surge. The surge that the USGS is now confirming, it happens about an hour and a half to 2 hours after the collapse event at the summit. So the collapse event was just before 6 o'clock this morning, so the surge would have been between 7:30 and 8, more or less. So we actually have some photographs. Let me zoom out here and get a photograph from, no, that's not it. Let's go back. We can actually go back in time because our pilots have been flying for a while this morning, and we just haven't had any of the imagery back. Okay, so let's switch to this photograph now. This is a photograph by Bruce Amori from Extreme Exposure, and he flew at 5:45 this morning, so shortly after the collapse occurred at the summit. And at this earlier time, you see there's no spillovers on the channel at all. Right, you see all the dark edge of the flow here north and south of it, right, all the way down an entire frame of the photograph. So that was 5:45, and then compare that to what we were just looking at, or where was that? Thanks for bearing with me. Okay, compare it to that, and now you can see the channel is spilling over along both sides, in fact, of the channel. So it's a big surge. We don't know how long this will last. Hopefully that's just a temporary threat, but for sure there's a lot of threat right now to Nohea Street. You can see this thing could actually come and spread out and actually these flows are large enough to extend the edge of the flow field beyond what it was before. So I hate to say it, we have homes at threat again today, which we were not expecting, but that's the situation on the ground today. So those of you guys that just joined us, we have a report, latest photograph by Scott Wilson of Aloha Skies Aviation from 11:15 a.m. showing the flow at that point within about a quarter mile of the ocean. So here is a flow front. This is a flow that's 2 days old that we were worried about creeping over towards the worm pond right here. Well, that one turned out to be irrelevant in the end, apart from channeling this one, keeping it to the side. Where now it's heading right. You see how wide this thing is, right? The edge of this thing is all the way over here. So the worm ponds being in the area right in there, it looks like there's no escape. Looks like there's no escape there. So there is a bit of a ridge here. Actually, there's a couple little ridges of high ground. I know people are going to be concerned about Pohoiki as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that to see how this flow extends. Ideally, it's going to, we're going to lose the worm ponds now. This flow is going to take them. That's just how it's going to be. But if the lava can keep pouring in the ocean in that area, maybe it won't spread over here, right? So we're going to keep an eye on that. We're not going to worry about that quite yet, but it is in the back of everyone's mind. I know, I've been hearing it already. And really, our concern right now is for the worm pond, which seems to be in its last few hours here today. So we've calculated some, given the new rates of advance, the flow is maybe slowed down a little bit and spread out. Let me kind of flip through some of these photographs to show you guys, or find one of these that might show what I am talking about here. This one here, okay. So this is a photograph that is by Scott as well. This I think was a little bit earlier. And what you can see is the flow front right here in this photograph is a little bit farther from the previous one, but in fact it's still quite close. You see the flow fronts advance right through here. But what I wanted to point out is you can't really see clearly this thing channel. This thing, it does have a channel flowing through here, but it's not very well established in the higher sections of it. Well, here's another view taken by Bruce Amori this morning earlier on, showing Kua O Ka Lā with a flow approaching behind it. Worm ponds here in the foreground. So you guys go check out. I think I've shared this post from Bruce already. I will share Scott's post as soon as he has it up as well. And Captain Ikaika is back with us. I'm going to go join him on the boat here in a couple hours. So we'll report to you guys from the water as well. We'll see what we can share with you guys. We can try to document this tragic day. That's the situation there. Let me see if I can find that other photograph of the channel. Oh, that's the one I just showed you guys. I'm trying to gather this in a hurry here so you guys can get the information as quickly as possible. Let's see if I can find that other photograph. Yeah, there it is. So what you're looking at here is the main channel that's been established for a while. Here is the blockage which was occurring. The flow was going previously around the east edge of Kapoho Crater, Green Mountain over here. And the blockage is occurring right in here. Oh, I lost it. Which one was it? Was that it? No, slightly different picture. Oh yeah, right there. The blockage is happening right in here. And the channel is well established all through right in here. You guys can see that. But then there's a whole front of the flow down in here, where this thing is feeding out is kind of like so far like a little lava delta on land that's kind of spreading out, making a base for itself, building up so it can actually establish that channel. And there's essentially more volume coming down, feeding this entire flow front, which is moving steadily forward like a giant bulldozer. You guys can see from this angle how wide the flow actually is. It's hard to get a number on it exactly, right? But when you guys consider that Kua O Ka Lā is right over here, and the width of the flow is all the way to here, there doesn't seem to be much chance it's going to escape this in any way. So guys, yeah, we're sorry it took so long to get you guys info today. Sorry about my bad hair. We got people at the hub just finished eating lunch. Just share with you guys. One more thing I wanted to share is that the hours at the hub have changed slightly. The hub is now closing at 6 p.m. in the evening with dinner served at 4 p.m. For you guys who are planning to come here. Also, the Highway 130 is open down to Uncle Robert's, and there will be market down there tonight. So you guys, I know it's hard to keep on with life as usual, but if you want to gather with some people who are feeling the same things as you are feeling, that's probably the place to be tonight, I'm guessing. So that's our quick update. Just to recap, there's two major things going on. The first one being Ahalanui, warm ponds, Kua O Ka Lā, charter school, secrets are all under threat. The flow is within 2,000 feet, moving at perhaps as much as 250, 260 feet an hour. So we're estimating it's going to be another, 4 or 5 hours if the thing stays unchanged. We're just making guesses. We guessed last night it might happen by 7 a.m. The flow slowed down its rate since then, so it's taking longer. But it seems unlikely it'll make it through the night, even if it does make it through the sunset. But in any case, it's the last few hours. So the second thing that's happening of importance are the spillovers in Leilani estates. The surge of lava that has followed the collapse explosion at the summit. The collapse happened at 5:45 this morning. So at about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, the surge came through Fissure 8. That caused spillovers to occur on both sides of the channel. It has burned down at least 2 structures on Luana Street already. And it is moving towards Nohea Street as well. And there are, I'll show you guys a photograph again. Let me turn the camera around and pull up this photograph so you guys can see. Bear with me 1 second.
That's me.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Right.
So here's a photograph of it, right? So this is Nohea Street right here. I know you can't see Fissure 8. Leilani is up here, cut off, right?
And there I am, right here. I'm right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
and there's your house. Yeah, and I know you were going in this way, right? And
yeah, we cut out the trees and telephone pole on Monday. And then the utility pole dragged it out of the way, got in, and then we got inundated by the white sulfuric dioxide plume and had to leave. And we were supposed to go back today, but then Civil Defense called and said no.
Right.
That they're evacuating everybody. And yeah, because Leilani and Nohea is covered, and the acre right next to my 2 acres on the corner is already partially covered, and across the street it's all burned and covered.
Right.
So
yeah, it looks like for you in particular, what might happen is that the flow may actually come and cut off the access in Nohea Street where you were getting, right? So I've heard you have access through the back. So,
I do.
So
a neighbor's
that's
property.
Going to be very important for you if this thing, I would expect that this is a surge in the sense that, the pressure wave came through after the collapse up at the top of the summit. And a surge means it's like a pulse. It means there's a peak and an end to it, right? So I would expect that these spillovers are not going to go on indefinitely. In fact, they should be waning as we speak, I would imagine. I don't know because I'm not there to kind of see if the volume is raising. I haven't heard any reports directly. We just know that the spillovers are happening now.
Is the spillover this gray or the
exactly,
black? It
exactly,
is the gray.
exactly.
Okay.
All the kind of silvery stuff.
Yeah,
the most
silver.
silvery stuff is actually still fresh and active, right? The silvery stuff is like a skin over top of a still red lava on the inside. If it was dark, all this would be glowing red, right through that thin skin.
So that's the oxidation on the top. The black is cooled.
It's all so what it is this is the crust here is much thicker than the crust here. The crust over here is probably something like a 1/4 of an inch thick, right? So if it was dark, the energy can actually shine through that thin crust, and that's why it glows at night. Whereas the other thicker areas are, even though it might be hot on the inside, they're not actually liquid on the inside, and they have a much thicker crust on them, right? Potentially several inches or something like that. Yeah, that would kind of explains like why you see things different at night. So.
Yeah, in this picture you can't even see my property because of the sulfuric.
Because of the fume, yeah. Let's see, we've got some other photographs here.
Dioxide.
So this is here's a view of, another view of that, yeah. So this is Nohea once again right here.
Oh, and I'm down
so you would be down that way, yeah. And it's just back at the flow front over here. Let me see if I can line up I've got pictures both from Scott Wilson and Bruce Amori here, kind of interspersed. So I'm kind of a little more disorganized than I've been. Just to kind of recap, here's a picture from Bruce earlier today at 5:45 in the morning. So
the helicopter, Bruce?
Yes, Bruce Amori, with extreme exposure, he flew this morning in a private charter. Sorry about the glare, you guys. You might have to just live with the glare. Sorry. But you can see that there are no spillovers at 5:45 in the morning. So all this happened as a pulse later on, right? So that's what's happening there. There was another angle, some other angles of that spillover. Here's one posted by USGS this morning.
Oh, wow.
A little earlier. So now you can see, there's no, you actually probably can see your place.
Yeah.
Right up there, yeah? Somewhere right in here.
Yeah, well, I'm right near Leilani Avenue.
Which I believe is here.
Which is that one? Yeah, and I'm
so
1 acre from in. So I'm 200 and, you know.
So that's right, that must be, you're right in there. So you see this flow is not heading towards you, it's actually heading slightly more downhill.
This way.
But it may easily cut off the road right there.
Right, and I just cleared it so we could get in. But, you know, hey.
What can you do, yeah?
Well, we just have to go over the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what were you saying about Uncle Robert's?
I was saying that Uncle Robert's is open. It's open.
It is open.
The 130 is open. There's no checkpoint in here anymore. There's no more National Guard on 130. The market, I've heard, is happening tonight.
Oh,
so,
okay.
That will be the place to gather among like-minded people tonight who are all living through this, just like the rest of us over here, right?
So you're live right now?
I am live right now.
Oh, you are live right now. I wasn't sure if you were phoned
Sorry,
back.
So, I mean, that's fine. Everyone appreciates all the explanations, and, they want to know exactly what's happening, and, having someone in person ask me the questions is probably better than having me to try to read all these as they scroll by, so thank you.
So much.
Yes, thank
of
you
course,
so much. And I'd love to be able to follow you.
Yes, you guys can find me on Facebook.
On Facebook. Okay, you can tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, no problem.
I
Of course, Auntie.
it.
Yeah, no problem.
Right there, me.
Yeah, good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, so you can see we got people here at the hub who are making decisions quickly about what their situation is. And, maybe I'll do one last recap, and then I'm gonna head off, and meet Kaika. We're gonna get on a boat and head over to Secrets and see what we can see from the water. Give you guys a report from there, from the farthest possible place within cell coverage, hopefully. So let me scroll back. I've got a lot of pictures on my iPad here, but I can't show you guys all of them because I'm in a little bit of a rush to get down to the boat. But here is a photograph from Scott Wilson, 11:15 a.m., the most recent one we have, showing the flow within a quarter mile of the ocean. You can see that here is a flow front. Let's zoom this in so you guys can, my finger won't be quite so fat, right? And there's Kua O Ka Lā, and the flow front is right there. Right behind it is a warm pond and Secrets. So there it is, guys. So I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna sign off right now. And yeah, guys, thanks for sticking with me. Come on down to the hub if you guys want some dinner. Remember, dinner is at 4 o'clock down here now. Hub closing at 6. So we're gonna be down there, around sunset, which is more or less when we estimate that the flow will reach the water. So I believe that Kaika will be doing a live stream from the boat, and we will be in touch with you guys then. So stay strong, Puna. Stay classy. There we go. Aloha.